Hello my YouTube lovelies and welcome back to another tutorial. You guys, I was so proud of this look and I'm so excited to talk with you guys about it. Y'all know me, skincare comes first. We're going with a moisture mist, then an intense moisturizer. All of this weather change has made my pH really off. I really need to hydrate my skin and make sure it's really prepared for the look today. Make sure it's all nice and saturated into the skin before you go in with anything else. Keeping in mind the areas you dry out the most, for me it's definitely the top part of my cheeks and around the edges of my nose. Next up, we're carving out those brows with a gel pomade and a flat angle brush, making sure to follow the natural way my hair lays and the natural arch. This is a Camo Concealer. I only use it on my eyes, like I said, because I have dry skin. Be mindful of that. If you don't have dry skin, some of these things might not be the best products for you. And it's totally okay to replace them with things that work out well for you. I'm going to tap that into my eye and prepare it for the eyeshadow. I definitely dipped my finger into that green. Oops. That yellow tank top totally made me think of a sunflower, and I wanted to recreate that look with this Revolution palette, dipping into those browns and warm tones. We're going in with the brown first, really carving out the outside of my eye over where I have my hood. Being mindful of that and making sure that you can still see the color above the hood is really what's going to make the difference at the end of the eye look. If you're doing it under the hood, chances are you're not going to see much of that color later on. Now we're going into some of those yellows, blending out those edges and really softening them so they mix well together. Back into that Camo Concealer, we're going to tap that just on the front part of our lid. This is going to be a great base for the yellow shimmer that I'll be applying with my finger, as well as a silicone brush. If you don't have a silicone brush, don't worry. Your finger does a great job. I like to apply with my finger first and then the silicone brush because it builds up better that way. Spraying the pigment before applying to the eye allows you to pick up more pigment and allows the pigment to show up more. So things like a setting spray or even the hyaluronic acid spray that I used in the beginning would be great for this. You already know that I couldn't leave well enough alone. We had to jump in with some of that bangin' gold glitter after that gold shimmer because, let's be honest, who doesn't need a little extra pop in their life? So I use the regular lash glue. This is the same lash glue I've used in all of my other videos with the aloe. This is by Kiss. And then I take that same silicone brush, press it into the gold glitter, and then apply that to the glue area. You best believe, girl, when this look comes together, it's heavenly. I am definitely a liquid liner fan. I love the intensity. I love that a brush is easy to use, but if you're somebody who doesn't really enjoy a liquid liner or even a brush liner, a marker liner or even a pencil would be great for this look that you can smoke out with a brush later. Going in with that mascara to lift and plump those lashes so they really blend well with the falsies we're going to apply. No worries. If you're not a big falsie girl or maybe you've never tried falsies before, it's okay to start small or maybe not at all. If it's just not your thing, feel free to use the mascara and move on. And if you're trying lashes for the first time, use something with a smaller band and build up to the lash intensity you want later on. Before applying the lash to the lid, make sure that your glue is nice and tacky. I promise you this is going to make it 1,000 times easier for your lashes to stay in the right place when applying them. Along the way, I found that I really enjoy applying to the center, to the outer corner, and then the inner corner when applying my lashes. One last skincare product. This is the Thirst Fix. It's actually a gel moisturizer. It really softens up my skin to give a nice base before applying my foundation. It also keeps me from really drying out with any foundation issues I might be having or any skin issues I might be having that day. This is a Tarte concealer. I absolutely love this stuff. Now, I have been trying out this little couple dots and just a small wing up to your hairline, but you know what? I actually kind of like this more of a built up color under my eye. I tend to have a lot of redness in my skin due to my rosacea, so I really loved having a little bit extra on my skin to kind of pull down into that redness. This bad boy is Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation. A little goes a long way. So be mindful as you're using a sponge or a brush to be mindful how much you're applying in one spot. You can always add more. It's harder to take away after you've applied to the skin. As I allow my foundation to really settle into my skin and make sure that it's balancing out, I'm going to dive into that same goldish yellow color that I used on my eyelid and brush up the unders of my eyebrow. I'm also going to take a much brighter yellow and intensely pack that into the inner corner for a bright pop. Don't leave those under eyes hanging. Using some of the same colors I used on a lid, I'm going to buff out that bottom lash line and really just make it intense. What kind of brush you're using for the under eye makes a huge difference. Make sure you're using something that is definitely more flatter and thinner than something more fluffy. The more fluffy of a brush, the more you're going to blend out and won't have as much intensity. As well, you might have more fallout under your eye. Going in here next with a eyeliner pencil. This is really just going to give that sultry eye, that really deep, bold color that I'm going for. So if you're not open to under eye darker colors, it's totally okay to skip this step and move on. Now that your under eyes have been thoroughly addressed, we're going in with the mascara, just boldening and layering that color on the bottom lashes so you can actually see them. Promise mama's got some eyelashes down there. If this is the first time y'all are catching one of my videos, oh my gosh, you've missed out how obsessed I totally am with this NYX blush. I love this color. It's like this wine berry shade, and I just adore the way it lays on my skin tone. It's a cream to powder blush, so it's a little bit nicer on my skin since it's dry. For those of you who are more oily, this is going to be absolutely amazing for you. Grabbing for that NYX Duo stick, we're going to use the concealer side of this. It's a little bit warmer than my Anastasia Beverly Hills, so it's really going to match this look well. And if you're unsure where your cheekbones are, make sure that you kind of suck in like a fish, really hydrate? What am I talking about? Girl, hydrate. Take a moment, get you some water. Then you're going to highlight under those cheekbones with that contour, really deepening that shade and giving that full lift effect. Taking a previously used sponge with your foundation on it is great to kind of apply over the blush area and the contour area. It really softens that and makes it look very natural. I most definitely had to pull out my favorite lippies for this. This one is Breadwinner. Look at how rich and how easy it applies. It looks amazing and it's freaking kiss proof. What? I know, it seriously lasts me all day long with one application and it's just stunning. I do have a very deep V Cupid's bow, but I love rounding out my lips, so you'll see me doing that here to tie in the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you do this look and tag me in it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You have an amazing week and an amazing life. Don't forget you're beautiful.